Hey, hey, Sagittarius. Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your November 2025 monthly reading. All right, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what the month ahead has in store for you. Now, Sag, your 12th house of spirituality, the subconscious, and reflection is being highlighted for you in the month of November. So before your solar return season begins, Spirit is guiding you inward. November is a time for rest and retreat to prepare your spirit for the new cycle that begins when the sun enters your sign later in the month. Now you have gifts showing up here. Beautiful. So happy birthday to those of you Sagittarians out there. Because it says spiritual gift and because your 12th house also connects to spirituality, your dreams may be quite vivid. You may even be feeling like you are connecting to loved ones that have crossed over. Some of you may even be astral traveling. And because the 12th house also connects to releasing the past, it wouldn't surprise me if you are dreaming about perhaps people that you have connected with in the past. This could even be past jobs that you've worked at, or even being in school. So pay attention because your dreams are showing up in a way that is helping you release. It's like the subconscious is unlocking. Now, your intuition may feel quite heightened this month. There's a lot of psychic information and downloads that's occurring for you. It would be a really wonderful month to explore your spirituality on a deeper level. Now, I am hearing the name Travis. That could be your name. Perhaps it is a loved one. It could even be someone that's entering into your energy in the near future. Travis is coming through. Now, you're letting go this month. I feel like it is a release month. You have the devil here with the 10 of swords and soul lessons as one of your key themes, right? Letting go of emotional baggage, any outdated beliefs or hidden fears, because you've learned a lot on your path thus far, right? There's a lot of inner growth, and Spirit wants you to acknowledge the inner achievements, because oftentimes, Sag, we look to the outward world or outer world to look at the accomplishments and the milestones based on what we have, what we've achieved externally. But Spirit is saying, don't forget to go within. Pat yourself on the back for how far you have come on your journey. Many of you have gained wisdom to be able to help others. I'm getting Hierophant energy. I'm just looking down to see if we have the Hierophant. We do not, but it feels like some of you may even be spiritual teachers, guides, mentors, or that may be a part of your calling. Even if you haven't explored that path quite yet, or you're just starting to open up to it, it feels like you have wisdom to share. You have a voice, you have a story, and you are being guided to share your voice, share your wisdom in some way, maybe even through teaching. Now, because your 12th house of, spirituality and the metaphysical realm is showing up here, you may even be taking classes or courses or workshops that can help strengthen your own inner confidence in some way. I see that you've gone through a lot of karmic lessons, a lot of karmic experiences here. And because past life is showing up, perhaps you've dipped your toes into like past life regression, or you've been curious about connections in past lives, because oftentimes we bring that same soul group into our next life, and you may be very well aware that there's someone in your life that it's not your first life together. You've actually shared many lifetimes with this individual. This could be a child, it could be a parent, it could be a lover, it could even be someone that you no longer connect with, but they were here to teach you very, very valuable lessons about yourself. I'm being shown a mirror, so it almost feels like there's a connection here, whether this is in your personal life or professional life. Someone has held up a bit of a mirror for you to strengthen the relationship you have with self. Now, I'm also getting with soul lessons, your energy is sacred, Sagittarius, and you may be prioritizing a bit of alone time. You may be craving silence for some of you, or craving stillness, wanting to step away from the noise, wanting to step away from the drama. I think this is a book. It may even be a movie, but they're showing me Wild. Yeah, it's with Reese Witherspoon. And I think Cheryl Strayed is the author. And it's about a woman who, I think she goes hiking in the mountains. She steps out of her life and she's ready for change, and she goes exploring. I'm not sure for how long, but she really finds herself. Maybe some of you are actually spending time like in the mountains. Maybe you're going for a long hike, or you're just craving that time away from society. And I see that November for you is almost like a spiritual cocoon before your rebirth. Think of a big spiritual comfortable blanket that you are cloaking over yourself. It feels warm, it feels nurturing, it feels like you're able to rest. The nervous system is able to kind of digest and feel calm and peaceful. And then you get to launch, moving into your season. Your season is your first house. So towards the end of the month, you move more into the spotlight. But I see that you've gone through a lot of lessons here. Now you have spiritual gifts and you're starting to wake up to them. So if your clairvoyance is activated, many of you are starting to see things with your third eye, with your eyes closed for many of you. But I also feel like you may be experimenting with some of your other clairs, perhaps your clairaudience, claircognizance, and that knowing. It's like you just know things. So your intuition is being heightened. But I also see, because the 12th house rules the subconscious, your dreams may be bringing up some deeper aspects of yourself. So do pay attention. And it may not even just be your dreams. It could be your emotions, because that moon energy is highlighted here, where the moon is also about our secrets. It can be things that are hidden from our view, but you're being guided to really go within and trust your intuitive knowing this month. There may be a surprise offer, a surprise element to the mix. You may even be gifted something unexpected. I see that you may receive compliments, you may receive well wishes, but there could be something that is very unexpected but very welcoming. And I see that you may even be treating yourself. Some of you are treating yourself to, a nice gift. You may even be taking some time to get away. You possibly could be traveling here. I see the traveler, the explorer with the Knight of Pentacles. So if you are contemplating spending time out in nature, as I've mentioned, or just disconnecting from society, or disconnecting from responsibilities, or, your phone for the day or for the weekend, I feel like that's going to really restore your energy. And many of you are in need of a good restoration session, right? Or a good time to just disconnect here. And you may even be getting or gifting yourself a massage, or even being gifted a massage or a wellness package. I'm getting wellness retreat even for some of you. But there's a gift from the universe here for you as well. Now, because I'm seeing release and letting go, forgiveness could come into play. We have the devil, and you may be forgiving yourself and others. You have self-love. right? This really fits beautifully into the 12th house energy of rest and acceptance. This is self-care, healing, going within, and rebuilding your sense of identity, rebuilding your sense of confidence here, because it almost feels like some sort of lessons or challenges or struggles that you've gone through may have stripped you from your confidence and may have left you questioning, who am I, right? That whole identity shift. And that's what's happening, where it's like you've been peeling back the masks, you've been peeling back the layers, letting go of emotional baggage, any outdated beliefs, any hidden fears that have been suppressed or deeply buried in your subconscious. That's why the devil is showing up, because when the devil is out in the open, then you can deal with the devil, right? When when the subconscious is made conscious, you're able to interrupt the patterns. You're able to reprogram. What gets difficult is when the devil is buried and repressed. But the fact that it's showing up here tells me you know what this is in your life, right? You know what it is because you've been working on releasing it, because it has caused you a lot of grief. And for many of you, it's almost encapsulated you or like imprisoned you in some way with this 8 of Swords. But I feel like there's a new beginning that is starting to stir. And self-love is telling me that you are finding compassion for others who may have even wronged you, or you're really stepping into that self-love piece and trusting in yourself more. Yeah, I'm getting trust is strong. Did I mention the name Travis? That's coming up here for you. I feel like it's coming up again. So if that is you, or again, someone in your energetic field, I feel like that energy wants to come through for someone specifically, okay? And maybe even connect deeper with them. So if that does resonate with you, you may want to get a hold of me. I feel like there's more where that came from, but I'm also getting here a letter in the mail or a card in the mail. Someone's going to open up, and it's not going to be just snail mail, right? Or spam or junk mail. It feels like there's something important, and it feels like this is really heartwarming for some of you. Yeah. So bottom of the deck, you have the great outdoors. We may have some outdoorsy people here in the mix of this Sagittarian energy, because the great outdoors is also highlighted. And I mentioned that book or that movie, Strayed, I think it's called, or no, excuse me, Wild by Cheryl Strayed. And I feel like kayaking, water, hiking, getting outside, connecting with whole foods, connecting with trees, with Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, is important. And you may even be working with plant medicine or mushrooms, right? Mushroom tinctures, and exploring more ways to be more earth conscious, right? Or being more mindful of your surroundings, of the planet, helping the planet in some way. And some of you are even looking at the chemicals that may be in your home, or you may be swapping out using more non-toxic shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, laundry detergent, makeup, skincare products, right? It feels like you are wanting to take better care of the planet, but also take better care of yourself. Now, we'll dive into health in just a moment here, but I am getting like environmental factors may have affected or contributed to someone's health. Now, this could be airborne particles. It could be sensitivities that have created like a rash on the body, or it could be that you're breathing in mold spores or something that feels heavy or toxic. There could even be like pet dander, or some of you may have allergens. And I see that is being cleared out. And you may even notice that the more time you spend in nature, or the more time that you spend opening up your windows if you're able to, and kind of allowing that fresh air to sweep in, you start to be able to breathe better. You're starting to feel more alive instead of feeling a bit restricted at times. Now, this is about camping, nature, getting grounded, unplugging, right? So definite 12th house energy here, kind of unplugging and stepping away from the noise. It doesn't mean that you are neglecting your responsibilities, but it is okay to say, I need me time. And because you are because your energy is sacred, Sag, it's okay to prioritize this alone time, prioritize getting still and just stepping outside to be one with Mother Earth. I love that. Bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Wands. This is about focus, right? Getting focused here. Now, Spirit is also saying stillness, all right? Stillness, because we have this energy of unplugging. That may be difficult for some of you fire signs to do, right? Stillness is not stagnation, right? It's actually preparation for expanding your energy. So this is the sacred pause. Think of November as your spiritual cocoon, right? It's before that rebirth. So by late November, when the sun moves into your sign, your first house of identity is really starting to light up, meaning you're going to feel clearer. You're going to feel like the healing that you have been doing is starting to pay off. You're going to start to cultivate more peace that's going to empower you for this fresh start ahead. So you have the Ace of Coins here, the Ace of Pentacles. So this is the fresh start. This is your first house that you're moving into at the end of the month. And it feels like you have been ready to start this new chapter, this new era, this next trip around the sun for quite some time, because some of you are like, Mel, it has been a long year, or it has been a long couple of years, because you may have been going through some struggles or challenges since early 2020s. And for some of you, it's been even longer. I'm getting 2017, 2018 for some of you could be significant as well. But there may have been some serious loss that you have endured that has kept you stuck, or you may have felt like you were not being honest with yourself. And that may have been a part of a soul lesson. Maybe this was someone else's energy that you were entangled with, because the Devil, the 10 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords is all being highlighted here, because when the Devil shows up, this is about taking a look at what controls you and saying, what do I need to do to release, right? How can I feel more confident about fully releasing and letting go of whatever this is that's holding me in its grips? It's bondage here, basically. It's like you feel bonded to this pain. You feel bonded and entrapped by something that's been quite heavy. And it doesn't mean that it's being washed away and you're never to think about it again. But the way in which you think about it, the way in which you approach it is different than in the past, meaning it's still there. It's still part of your evolution. It's still something that you have endured, but I feel like you're not trapped by it anymore. Yeah, you're not trapped. You're not the victim. You are the warrior. Wow, that's a powerful one. Yeah, you're not the victim, you are the warrior. And speaking of, I thought I pulled an archetype for you. I haven't pulled it yet, but we're going to just pull an archetype. We'll read it at the end. Okay, you have the Cave. Oh, how interesting. Yeah, it feels like November is a month of recluse, kind of going within here. And that's the Devil. Some of you are meeting the Devil like eye to eye, and you're saying, okay, this doesn't belong here. You don't belong here. You may even be taking a look at unhealthy patterns or unhealthy habits. This could be relationships that feel draining, that feel toxic. I mean, the Devil energy shows up because this can be extreme materialism. It can be extreme codependency, manipulation. It can be bondage, and that's what it looks like here. You feel bonded to something where it's almost like an addiction, where you keep going back to it, and it's causing a lot of pain, causing a lot of grief, because it's like Groundhog's Day on repeat. But the fact that you start off with the Ace of Pentacles and you end with the Ace of Swords, that is double ace, and all aces in tarot are gifts. And remember, your key theme for the month is gift. So I feel like you are getting clear. You're getting clear. It's like you have new new sights in your mind's eye. You see on the Knight of Pentacles here that she's wearing these glasses and she has mountains. Do some of you live in the mountains here? I mean, mountains can represent, the climb where things have been challenging, but maybe you're reaching that peak. Maybe you've been climbing and climbing for so long, but it feels like you are ready to take on any challenges, but you're also ready to rest. It's like, okay, I've been climbing for some time now. I'm ready to take a break. And that's what this month is all about for you. Excuse me. And I feel like you are being guided to explore your options because the Knight of Pentacles, he's dependable. You, Sag, are dependable. You're hardworking. You're trustworthy. I feel like you are someone who's down to earth. You're very disciplined here. You're resourceful. You're patient. But it hasn't always come easy. These are learned skills, right? Learned skills, meaning that your patience has been tested, right? And you haven't always felt like you were as resourceful. You haven't always felt as disciplined. So you are starting to grow into these lessons. And that's why I feel like you are the Hierophant in a way. It's like you are the teacher. You have the ability to take the next steps, whatever those next steps in your life are. And we're going to break it down here as well into career and love and health. But I see for many of you, you're ready to move on and you're protected as well. Do some of you live maybe in Alaska, or perhaps you are visiting a colder place? I mean, of course, November, December, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, we're rolling into the cold months, but it feels like this is a bit of a hibernation month with that cave here. But what I love to see for you is the Nine of Cups. This is the cake, right? The cake with the cherry on the top. The Nine of Cups is a wish granted. Right? And you've been wanting to break free from this. You know what this is, Sag. The Ten of Swords, some sort of ending, some sort of loss, some sort of betrayal that you may have faced. The devil, that sneaky devil can show up and it can linger. It can keep you bonded to the pain. Eight of Swords can be mental muckery, right? The stories that replay out in our minds over and over and over again, keeping us feeling like a hostage or a prisoner. And remember what I said about your 12th house, releasing the past, letting go. When you think of the number 12, especially in a calendar year, 12 is the final month. It's also your season, right? So 12 is the final month before we roll into the new year. So for many of you, I definitely see that you are releasing, you're letting go of any blame, any shame, any guilt. Okay, those are three heavy words that just came in strong. Blame, shame, and guilt. If you are holding on to those vibrations, those energies, for one, you are having a human experience. You're not broken. It's natural to experience a whole plethora of these emotions, but those energies feel very heavy. They can weigh you down. They can keep you feeling bonded. That may be what you are working on really releasing. All right, pushing through those fears, showing up saying, I know that I went through a struggle, but you can use those tears to water new growth. And that's what you are doing here with this Ace of Pentacles, because this is a start of a new life. And the Nine of Cups here is accomplishment. It is a 9, right? It's completion. So for many of you, this is emotional fulfillment. It's peace. It's serenity after a period of intense self-reflection or restlessness. So if you have been feeling restless, which it looks like you have, right? If you have been focusing here on your soul lessons, which I feel like you have, you're moving into this Nine of Cups energy where you're starting to feel more emotionally fulfilled, spiritually aligned with your newfound sense of purpose, right? With your identity. You've been peeling back the layers and you're going to get rewarded for it. All right. And the Ace of Swords is the breakthrough, right? The Ace moving into your first house. You are shining bright like a diamond here. You deserve recognition. You deserve love. You deserve to be seen and heard and valued. And you are not going to settle for anything less than you deserve, Sagittarius. So I see that some of you may even have a surprise engagement or a surprise invitation, as I was mentioning earlier, maybe even some sort of gift that comes in, but you are seeing things clear, much, much clearer now. All right, let's take a look. Do we have a bonus card here for you? I feel like we have an extra card that must have came out. But regarding health, let's dive into energetic health, which sometimes can manifest in the physical. You do have the Devil. Now, the Devil can be issues with aging, like aging skin. This can be chronic conditions, chronic illness. It can even suggest like older age or growing older. And sometimes that can be a struggle for many as you start to notice your bones and your joints and your knees. And I'm also getting teeth for some of you. Maybe you've had struggles with your teeth, or this could be a month to see the dentist. Maybe get in to get that teeth cleaning. Maybe you've had some sort of jaw issues as well. The Devil can also represent arthritis or like rheumatism here. Also can bring in colds. So just be mindful of these energies. Connect with perhaps a naturopath or a doctor. I'm getting massage can also help stimulate your body. So if you've been maybe wanting or craving a massage, if you're able to do so. And I'm also getting physical touch. Maybe that's something you shied away from or you haven't felt for quite some time. I mean, look at the Devil. He's suppressed. I mean, it almost feels like, okay, who's going to want to go and give the Devil a big old hug? But I feel like touch is so important. I mean, think of infants. Infants need touch. It is so important to human life. So hug your children if you have them, or hold hands with your spouse, or even pat yourself on the back, give yourself a neck massage or a foot massage. Get into that energy of touch if you feel safe enough to do so. All right, let's move into career, finances, money, and wealth. We have the book here, paperwork, contracts, learning as you go. Some of you may even be taking a class, maybe a class on spirituality. Now, you may even have a career that requires additional education or additional training, like every couple of years. You could be preparing to take an exam even. And if you are dealing with the legal system, or if you are contemplating like getting the law involved or higher authorities, I see here with the Devil, it hasn't been easy, but you actually have a new beginning that's sparking from this. I'm getting like human resources. Perhaps you've had to go to human resources, or there's been something toxic in the workplace and you've been forced out in some way, but yet you felt stuck because you haven't found anything else. It just feels like there is a couple of new beginnings here showing up for you. Now, I'm seeing a sold sign if you're in real estate, or if you are contemplating a move. Excuse me, this can also be connected to new contracts with like Airbnb. You may even be renewing a license, renewing a passport. You may be looking at end of life paperwork with that Devil here, because the Devil can represent old age. Some of you may be looking into preparing so things aren't a mess, right? When your time comes, because we are all going to cross, right? We're not immortal in this human flesh, just in our soul. And you are wanting to prepare, or some of you could even be taking care of aging parents or siblings. And you may be looking at power of attorneys or wills or estates or, accounts. And I feel like this preparation is a good thing for everyone, right? It's good to have that preparation. So when the inevitable happens, we're not scrambling. And you may even be applying for like a loan or talking to like higher authority here regarding some sort of financial support or assistance. I'm getting like small business loan as well. It could be nonprofit. It could even be some sort of, again, assistance. It feels like you are receiving help. You're manifesting here. Look at that. You have manifesting money on one hand, and on the other card, you literally have the word manifesting. So when it comes to career, you're reaching some goals here, and there's financial assistance. Yeah, I knew I felt that coming in here. So this could be help getting a job. Some of you work with your hands. Maybe that's that touch that I'm feeling. Okay, it could be massage therapy. It could be energy healing. You could be creating or making like jewelry or candles or something from earth. Maybe you're working with your hands. You could be foraging even, or some of you are looking at new skin routines or lotions or products that you can use on your body, and maybe even selling those products. Next, you have manifesting. You have all the tools that you need to increase your income. And it certainly looks like there's a new offer coming in here. This could even be an inheritance, a bonus, a gift, a new job. It could be tied to your well-being. For some of you, wealth and nutrition could be connected to your job. So for example, if you haven't been feeling the best and that has contributed to low morale, or you have been wanting to teach about wellness or nutrition, it feels like you have the green light. You're moving in a direction. It says good fortune is coming soon. An opportunity may come to you where you can showcase your talents. I love that for you. Showcase your talent. All right. I'm getting Wilbur. Now, isn't Wilbur the pig from Charlotte's Web? I think it's the pig. Wilbur. I mean, maybe someone's name is Wilbur. Maybe it's a town. Maybe you have pigs. Okay, maybe Charlotte's Web means something to you. Take it as it resonates. Let's look at relationships. Where are you at with relationships? Ooh, someone could be traveling, maybe going to paradise here. We have some beach vacation here, maybe some ocean waters, even though, so we have mountains and ocean coming up in your reading. Now, this is happiness and joy, playfulness, enjoying each other's company. And I think I mentioned earlier, yeah, that diamond ring. Maybe you are honeymooning, or there could even be a need to renew vows or reconnect to a spouse or a partner. So paradise is coming through here. And for those of you that are single, I feel like you may be connecting with someone new. And this could be the start of something very, very beautiful, very emotionally fulfilling. I mean, you have that 9 of cups with 2 aces here. That equals the 10. So 10 is that, you know, that feeling of connectivity and feeling like you're part of a family, part of a tribe. So paradise is beautiful. Now you also have teddy bear. Sag, someone is interested in you. You may be interested in them. For those of you that may be single, this is a wonderful time to flirt, right? Put yourself out there if you're wanting to date again. You might start seeing movement more towards mid-November to mid-December, but it feels like there is certainly a blooming or budding romance here with that Ace of Pentacles. And for others of you, doesn't surprise me to see the snake, because the devil can be a snake, right? Someone who's used you, someone who's charmed you, but then left you out on the wayside. I feel like you have learned boundaries, and you're not going to allow anyone to cross over that threshold and enable you in ways that maybe you have felt kind of allured in the past. You know, the devil can also be controlling your desires rather than letting them control you. And I see some of these desires, some of these temptations aren't healthy. And for some of you, I mean, not everybody is going to resonate with this, but there could be someone who's off limits, or perhaps you are off limits, but someone has tried to push the boundaries in some capacity. And I feel like you've had to draw a line in the sand. I mean, maybe quite literally with the paradise, you see the line in the sand. So Yeah, I just feel like there could be temptations here, but because that Eight of Swords is up saying, okay, I have these boundaries, I can't unlock that because it could become messy. All right. So you have here from your higher self, you have survived 100% of the obstacles in your life. You've got this, Sagittarius. Give yourself credit. You have come so far in life. Keep going. Yeah, oftentimes we don't give ourselves credit for, the internal accomplishments. And I think I mentioned that earlier, where we're looking for the external. We look outward at what we have or what we've learned, what we've created, what certificates that we have, what we've accumulated. But what's important is for you to acknowledge how far you've come also on your emotional, your spiritual journey. List all of the obstacles that you have overcome. Claim your strength to yourself and the world. Your mantra for the month: I will keep going. I was born to shine. There's the diamond. Shine bright like a diamond, Sagittarius, because you were absolutely born to shine. And lastly, we have here the cave. Now, the cave is the dark, the portal, the interior. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while a cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend the fire. Oh, I love that, especially because you are fire, and this flows beautifully into your 12th house energy. When this is showing up as the light, it is the sacred center within. When it's showing up as the dark, it's isolation, hiding, and withdrawal, which definitely makes sense with that devil energy here. And you are connecting to that sacred center. Remember, what did I call it? The spiritual cocoon? That's what November is all about for you. Slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within the dark confines of the caves. There's that diamond, right? Let the cave teach you patience. And we talked about that as well with that Knight of Coins. Envision yourself as an old sage in a cave. What amenities do you need? What draws you ever closer to the cave within the cave? For those of you that would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, I would love for you to drop in the comment section below. Imagine yourself as an old sage in a cave. What amenities do you need? Drop them below. And if you want to go further, check out the Cave of Crystals or the Blue Grotto. That is what I have for you, Sagittarius. If you enjoyed today's session, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.